The only Texas All Lines Adjuster License Exam Study Guide you need. Question 1. The difference between a peril and a hazard can best be described by which one of the following statements? Option A. A hazard is a cause of loss and a peril increases the likelihood. Option B. They are identical terms used interchangeably in insurance. Option C. A peril is a cause of loss like fire. A hazard is a condition that exists beforehand that increases the likelihood of such a loss like a messy storeroom with oily rags. Option D. A peril only applies to property insurance while a hazard applies to liability insurance. The correct answer is option C. A peril is a cause of loss like fire. A hazard is a condition that exists beforehand that increases the likelihood of such a loss like a messy storeroom with oily rags. A peril directly causes the damage, whereas a hazard is an environmental or behavioral condition that makes the peril more likely to happen. Question 2. In today's society, the most important factor in the purchase of insurance is: Option A. Price. Option B. Advertising. Option C. Trust. Option D. Convenience. The correct answer is option C. Trust. Because insurance involves a promise to pay in the future, the entire transaction relies heavily on the consumer's trust in the carrier. Question 3. An accident including continuous and repeated exposure to the same generally harmful conditions is known as which trigger of coverage? Option A. A claims-made trigger. Option B. An occurrence. Option C. A discovery trigger. Option D. A retroactive date. The correct answer is option B. An occurrence. Liability policies define an occurrence to encompass both sudden accidents and gradual exposure to harmful conditions over time. Question 4. A hardware store was sued by a customer injured when a lawnmower's pull cord snapped. The lawsuit alleges improper warnings and defective design. Who else might be considered legally responsible under a claim of product liability? Option A. The customer who purchased the mower. Option B. The designer and manufacturer of the lawnmower. Option C. The delivery service that transported the mower to the store. Option D. The advertising agency that promoted the mower. The correct answer is option B. The designer and manufacturer of the lawnmower. In product liability, anyone in the manufacturing and distribution chain, including the designer and manufacturer, can be held strictly liable. Question 5. One of the elements of an insurance contract is that it is conditional in nature. This means that: Option A. The insurer can cancel the policy at any time for any reason. Option B. A policyholder has certain conditions, duties, and responsibilities that he or she must meet if a covered loss occurs before a carrier must comply with the terms of the insurance contract. Option C. Coverage only applies during specific weather conditions. Option D. The premium must be paid in cash. The correct answer is option B. A policyholder has certain conditions, duties, and responsibilities that he or she must meet if a covered loss occurs before a carrier must comply with the terms of the insurance contract. Conditional contracts require both parties to fulfill specific obligations such as prompt reporting and mitigating damages for the contract to be enforceable. Question 6. You are trying to teach another adjuster what negligence is. You tell him that negligence is described as: Option A. An intentional act designed to cause harm. Option B. A breach of contract between two businesses. Option C. Fault that arises from doing something you should not have done or not doing something you should have done. Option D. A criminal act punishable by imprisonment. The correct answer is option C. Fault that arises from doing something you should not have done or not doing something you should have done. Negligence is the failure to exercise the standard of care that a reasonably prudent person would have exercised in a similar situation.